Hello, my name is Ursula Niebel, a 5th grade math teacher at the Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School. I will be discussing how and why I will be using the social networking tool Twitter in my classrooms and the barriers that I may encounter. K-12 teachers are starting to take advantage of Twitter's format to keep their classes engaged and up to date on the latest technologies. The advantage to using a tool like Twitter for education is that it is instant and it is to the point. In my 5th grade math classes, I would like to increase ways to use social media in the classroom because there is a need to get more students to interact with each other in the virtual classroom. Twitter can make a surprisingly useful educational tool, giving my students an easy way to communicate that goes beyond my office hours and classroom. Twitter will enable my students to have an easy way to follow the information that is associated with my math class. I can create accounts or Twitter lists specific to the course that students can then follow, making it easy for them to find each other on Twitter. Twitter can also replace many tools I already use in my classes, such as emailing lists and other programs used to post announcements and reminders. And not to forget, in general, Twitter can completely change the way my students interact and brainstorm ideas. Here are some following examples in detail on how I could use Twitter in my classroom. Twitter can be used to remind students about homework and upcoming assignments, and provide relevant information for the next class. I can have students tweet their own notes with math examples during lessons and have them share with their peers. Or, at the conclusion of each lesson, I could ask students to type a 140-character or less summary of what they learned, and perhaps they could pose any questions to be considered in the next class. Also, I could use Twitter to post my own sample questions for upcoming exams for the students to solve and study, along with other supplementary materials such as website links to fun math games and instructional videos for them to watch. Also, I can make it possible so that others outside our class can retweet supplementary materials to our classroom lectures. So beyond using it for lessons, teachers who Twitter have at their disposal a vast network of like-minded professionals with whom they could trade ideas and insights. Probability and bar graphs are 2 out of many lessons I teach in 5th grade math. I can introduce my students to the basics of probability by asking a broad question on Twitter like, what is the probability that it will snow where you are? Then I can have them chart their answers. The students are able to explore a range of statements and decide what the likelihood was by getting responses from all over the world. They can explore the languages used and discuss the reasons for the differences. With another topic, students can post survey questions for their bar graph activity I do every year, and they could gather data from all over the world. The possible barriers that I may encounter using Twitter in my classroom would be getting students to actually use it. This entire process does, of course, depend on students understanding how to use Twitter. Given how popular the service has become, it's more than likely they will already be familiar with it and some of its intricacies. But if they aren't, I would have to overcome this barrier by setting aside a preliminary introduction to how to use this service. Also, some students and parents might complain that using Twitter for educational purposes can be seen as an unwelcome intrusion into what they consider a purely social space. Teachers need to make them aware that this type of social media can increase the participation of students who may be reluctant to speak out in class. Shy students may feel more comfortable tweeting, but speaking should still be highly encouraged. Tweeting broadens participation in lessons where there is simply not enough time for everyone to speak. In conclusion, I believe Twitter's classroom capabilities are limited only by an educator's imagination. Though many believe its limitations prevent valuable applications to an academic setting, teachers in the know realize the microblog's potential to establish a nurturing classroom for students of all ages. Pictures were taken from Dreamstime, a Creative Commons website. Thank you for listening.